about your previous experience with hypnosis.
I was nervous the minute I sat down, because it was my first time, but as well, my first session was an attachment. A lot of abusive things happened to that soul, and a lot of the stuff that I thought was part of me and part of something that I was connecting to my past life or something was actually nothing to do with me at all. Straight away though, after that, I felt completely different. I was a lot more grounded. I wasn't as dissociated. I didn't understand that, I thought it was a past life. And then the minute Brigitte asked me, is this part of Joey? And I said no. I was like, what? So that was a weird experience. The second one was very, I loved it, to be honest. It was a past life and I was living in LA. So that was like, it was really nice, that one, because it's tied in a lot of stuff that I'd been kind of confused as like it's stuff that I remember from childhood memories. And then they came back up and I realized, oh, those memories were from that past life. But I had another attachment to a small boy who got lost, and yeah, he found me, and I felt like I couldn't move here to Lithuania. I felt like I had a blockage, and it actually was the attachment of the young boy who wanted me to stay home. I remember saying to myself, this isn't me. Something else is crying through me. I don't know what this is. The little boy was wanting to go straight away. He wanted to go back to his family and everything, and was one of the it was one of those attachments that, well, the other one was strange. I was like, okay, that's done. Don't care about that anymore. The little boy, I was like, oh, that was like, I seen it as a kind of special because he came to me probably at a time when I needed something to come in and kind of protect me when I was going through something. So I looked at it as like, oh, we went through similar things, and part of his story connects to my story as well. So yeah, had very good sessions, to be honest. Yeah.
How you feel about the session today?
I'm a little excited now. I'm excited, but for some reason I got really hot all of a sudden. I don't know what that is.
We know that before sessions, our body is already working on something. It's telling us something.
I was like, I think my body's preparing me for tonight. So that's right what you're saying. Yeah. I'm doing quite well. Like I'm quite positive. Would like to work on is maybe why am I so hard on myself sometimes? But there's something from stopping me from maybe making more money than I can. Probably could take on more, and I don't do that. I don't know why.
So you would like to receive some guidance on where and how to go with your business, with the services you offer?
A little bit more of my masculine to come through.
Would that feel good for you if we set an intention how to help you become more balanced between your feminine and masculine aspects so it benefits you the most?
Yeah, that's a really good intention to set. Yeah.
Wonderful. So rephrasing the other goal is to give you some guidance on how you should continue your business, the directions on development that would be the most beneficial for you and for your clients.
I tried to commit suicide like 3 times, but that happened because I used to look in the mirror and I used to hate myself. Whereas now I have an affirmation I say every day. I love and accept myself. I love and accept who I am, and it's an intention that I set kind of every day just to reprogram me every day. But there's these times that I look in the mirror and I'll pick out just one thing and I'll hate it for the whole day. Like, why am I not doing something about it? Like, what's the blockage with that? I want to have a toned body for me so that I like looking in the mirror because I know I can achieve that. I feel like I do love and accept myself, but I think again I'm very hard on myself. Like I'm like pushing myself to do better. Like you can look better, you can be healthier if you want.
So what would be the solution for you? Would you like to be more motivated into exercising in order to tune up your body? So putting emphasis on motivation into physical self-development? Or do you want to
That's it.
just...
That's it. That's you. Everything you just said there. That's literally the blockage that I think I need to like figure out what that is.
So do you think that if you were to be more motivated into exercising, would that help you become a little bit less self-critical?
I think so.
And would that help you to become a little bit more self-confident?
Mm-hmm. Big time. I thought I didn't have anything really. I was like thinking, I don't know what to work on today. And now I'm like, Jesus, I have a lot more than I thought.
In your sessions, have you tuned in into your higher self and your guides?
Yeah, he showed me I had angel wings, and they were trapped in like wire, and I was brought out of my body, and then he took me back down, and we cut the wires, and it's actually something that I do to check my energy now. I imagine my wings, and I imagine that if they're feeling a little bit not fluffy, I like fluff them up. It's just a little visualization that I do. So I was that was like a little tool that my higher self sort of gave me to check up on myself. He wouldn't say much, and he said that certain things isn't important, just this is the most important thing. So it was very quick. So I'm a medium, so I actually can feel spirits around me. I can feel, sometimes when I'm doing readings for people, I will do, a loved one will come in. So I'm very clairsentient, so I actually feel like the world is talking to me all the time. After my last kind of near death experience, I started seeing actual spirits like when I was living in London, and that was when I shut myself off from mediumship completely for a long time. And then all of a sudden it just, because I started to work on myself, I think I got my vibration to a point where lower energy couldn't really interfere with me anymore. It was more so my guides were sort of working with me. So I don't see anything anymore, and I don't want to. It's just not something I think people should focus on. But yeah, it was a bit traumatizing at times when I'm like walking down the street and I see a freaking spirit pass by, and I'm like, wow, what the hell? So yeah.
You are saying that you do not see spirits anymore and you don't want to.
I can still see in my mind's eye. Let's just put it that way. I can see them, feel them in a psychic way rather than with my own physical eyes, which is that's how I feel like it's supposed to be for me anyway.
Do you feel like you need some closure or guidance on this subject?
I know what I have to ask. What is my fear around letting certain spirits in? Why am I blocking myself from, just accepting that they're around me? And
in order to not go to the bad stuff again, because you know how it feels like, you rather cut off yourself totally because you cannot recognize the good from the bad. Is that the thing? Would that make you more at ease if you had a way to determine whether this spirit is from light?
Yeah, so how could I tell the difference? That's what I want to know.
We just simply actually ask, because if they are not from light, they cannot say they are from light. So you can do that already. You can simply ask.
I didn't even think on that. Like, of course they're not going to say yes if they're not. Okay, yeah.
So if it's about the non-physical entities, but if it's about spirits, they are all, if they are hanging out here, they are all somewhat lost souls. Something is holding them to this room. So they are all from light. If you ask them, are you from light? Yeah, they will be from light, but they might be just lost. Because, even with those, you have a power to just say, you know what, I don't feel like I'm in the place that I can interact with you right now. Please go and come back when I'm ready for it. If you don't give them permission, they will not. You are a light being already. Very, very powerful light being. You can choose.
Is there something there that I'm supposed to help lost souls? Because I don't know. Why has it come up like most of my life? Like, why has that been a thing for me? Is there something that I'm supposed to be like not shying away from and actually trying to maybe guide them in some way. I don't know.
That's a good question. So let's go with that.
Yeah. Maybe no, I don't understand my dad. I love them for who they are. I just don't really understand them, but I don't think they understand me.
Just close your eyes and think about your dad for just a second. Do you feel that there might be a lesson for you there in having that dad?
Learn how to love in a different way. And his love was part of what made me struggle with codependency. And I think he still fears that I won't be okay and that I will get myself into a situation that is dangerous. He doesn't trust that I'm mentally stable because of the past and how I treated myself. But he doesn't understand that through that I actually learned to love myself more.
What do you want to tell him to help him understand, to help him not worry about you that much?
I'd like to tell him to not worry about me anymore because I've found my inner happiness, and I would like for him to also focus on his own happiness and for him to not be afraid of death.
What your dad tells you?
He's saying, even though it might look like I don't have it together, this is just who I am, and this is just part of how it has to be for me. My life is easy and sometimes boring, but that's the way my soul chose it to look. Nothing is what it seems, and the fear that's in my eyes is something that I chose to experience. So don't worry, I will be okay.
Thank you. You can open your eyes.
Well, whoa. I did not expect to say that. Whoa. Oh, okay.
All right. So are you ready to be hypnotized by me today?
Yes, I am.
Ask if he has any advice for you on how you can direct your business so it becomes more beneficial for you and your clients.
He's telling me that I need to start with something new. This new thing is coming, and when I find the right way to approach it and to teach it to other people, many opportunities will open up for me, and that these people will always want to come back. This is not in alignment with what you think it might be. It's going to be different, but it's going to be much greater than you could ever imagine. I know the things that you are studying right now are quite difficult, but this course that you are learning about is destined for you. It's something that the world needs right now, and many people will benefit from knowing this information for themselves, because you are teaching people in the future self-development skills, also linking to their own birth chart, their own higher self. This information is like giving them the code to unlocking their own higher self. You have nothing to worry about, but you need to start studying more and enjoying it more, because you feel that you're not worthy right now to know this information, but you are, and you're feeling it day by day because of the strange experiences that I am giving you. These strange experiences are to keep you motivated and happy that these things are exactly as they should be.
Beautiful, thank you. Is there any way that Joey can improve and make this transition into the new potentials easier?
He needs to be less hard on himself and try different approaches, treading in where he is at the minute is not where he wants to be. He wants to walk a new path each week. He wants to be adaptable, but he stops himself from trying it out because of his own fear that it might not work out. However, it's not supposed to work out the way that he thinks. So, if he doesn't try new things, he will not be able to have new experiences. And the new experiences is what he needs to have in his memory going forward. And he will. He most certainly will have some amazing experiences, some ups and some downs, and along the way, it'll make him the person that he always wanted to become. Highly
Beautiful,
respected, yes.
beautiful. Thank you for that message. He is concerned that he is not professional enough in the way he's approaching his work. Is there anything we want to tell him about this?
This is something that will never fade. He thinks he has to be a certain way, but people are drawn to him because of his charm, because of the way that he is. That is why people like to be around him and to watch and listen to what he has to say. Nothing is ever as what he wants, but he has to start accepting that his funny nature is why he is successful today. He is professional, but he isn't extremely pleased at the minute with this feeling of being stuck and wanting the future to happen now and not doing what he should be doing in order to attract that future. It's okay to want the future now, but you must create it. He's confused.
What tools can we give him or advise him to help him create the future that he wants?
He needs to create and put some money aside in his mind for the type of office that he desires. He needs to create a space that will assure him that when he is in that room, he is at peace with himself and that he is ready to work. At the minute, he works on his computer wherever he can, but in his soul, he needs a space where everything is already set up so that he doesn't have to grab all of the things and pull them together and organize on the spot each and every day. He needs a space where he isn't interrupted. It's a lovely, bright room with large windows, nice space, with a nice large desk, and all of his equipment is there, not needing to be set up. It's just set up every morning that he walks into that office. And in that office, he can play whatever music he needs. He can take a sit on his large chair that is extremely comfortable. He has the best of both worlds in that office because he can practice his spirituality while also teaching about it. Because, like I said already, everything will be set up perfectly the way that he likes it without any interruptions.
That sounds so beautiful. He wished to manifest abundance. Is there anything that is actually blocking him from this abundance? Or he will be able to accomplish this already after following those advices?
The reason that he is feeling this blockage right now is because he needs to appreciate where he's at, because big things are going to change for him. He has some things that he will be shocked by that will accumulate quickly over time. A lot of abundance is coming his way, but he needs to prepare now for that, and he needs to appreciate where he has come from, so that when he gets to where he wants to go, that he will appreciate it just as much, because he knows in his heart now that abundance is not about money, it's about feeling happy. But we also must feel happy when things aren't going our own way. So this blockage is a test for him, exactly the way he wanted it to be, because he knows that he will appreciate things a lot more this way. He has chosen it to be like this.
Thank you. He is very harsh on himself, and he wished to be more confident and become more self-compassionate. How can we motivate him into becoming more self-confident, self-compassionate, possibly care of his body more, maybe exercise more?
He needs to stop coming up with problems, because that is his best that is his best thing at the minute. He's saying that certain things are stopping him in the external world, when really he's happy in his internal world to not do X, Y, and Z in regards to his health. So he needs to start talking to himself a little bit nicer. And how he can do that, he needs to let go of the person who he thinks he will become. He needs to stop wanting it to look a perfect way, because the body that he sees here now in me, he is viewing me, and yes, I am in shape. Yes, I look happy. Yes, I have worked myself to my core, literally, but I just got up and I just did it and I felt good about it. He needs to stop thinking that exercise is a chore, and he needs to do what makes him happy while he exercises. He can watch a video, an educational video, he can play music, he can do whatever he wants. He just needs to make sure that he is not bored. That is his problem. He thinks that exercise is boring, but he hasn't balanced it out with something fun. That is his problem.
how can he make exercising fun?
Well, to start, he could join something that maybe is outside. I like here now, I like the group of people that I exercise with. So I think starting off, it would really benefit him to have someone to motivate him. I really feel that when this abundance comes, he will also change a lot of things. He's rushing it right now as well. So what I feel is that he should only exercise when he has the energy. And in in the beginning, it's going to be very slow until he gets enough motivation built up, because right now he will want to start. However, he must not rush it too quick, too soon, because he's sometimes, Joey now likes to rush things. He wants it to happen fast, and that's just not the way it will be. But the future is very fast, and the things that will move and shift for him are going to happen very quickly. And the abundance and the love he has for his success will be the thing that motivates him even more to look after his body, because he will want to stay around for quite some time.
Wonderful. Well, he is also concerned about the spirits that he is seeing, this gift that he is having. Can you advise him how he can differentiate between the spirits that are good and the spirits that are not beneficial for him to interact with?
All that he must do is ask his higher self. All that he must do is ask, are these souls wanting my help for the right reason, or are they trying to latch onto my energy because they have nowhere else to go? His light is quite bright, and they are like very attached sometimes, but they cannot penetrate right now. His energy is too much, and they cannot get in because he has created strong spiritual boundaries. And the only souls that are welcome in his energy field are the ones that love him and care for him.
Which means he does not have any spiritual attachments currently. Is that correct?
No, he has no spiritual attachments. He is afraid that if he lets himself go, that something could come in. But this is not true, because right now he doesn't have any trauma that would necessarily attach anything to him. He's had an easy life the past few years, and these few years have been about letting go of those attachments. He's done that. This is why he's being geared up for another level of spiritual enlightenment. He could not do that with the attachments that he had, because they were holding him down. And now he's fearing that things are going to change very quickly, and he is correct. But he has nothing to fear, because this is who he always wanted to become. He's fearing it because it's coming closer than he expects. He has to let go now. The months ahead are going to be very different from what he will expect, because they are something that he's not used to. He has to let go of control, and he has to just have fun.
What Joey needs to let go the fear, and what he can replace this fear with to help him with those changes.
The best option for him is to start talking more and not keep everything to himself. He needs to be more vocal. He needs to speak up, and he needs to trust that whatever it is that he should be doing right now is the right option for him. He knows in his heart that everything he chooses to do right now is right for him. No matter what anyone else thinks, he is very intuitive with his decisions, but he needs to speak out and tell the truth and not keep his mouth shut whenever things get too much for him.
Thank you for all the information. Joey is wondering, why was he given this gift of being able to see spirits?
He had some very interesting past lives. His soul is quite unique, and the life that he has chosen is one that many people would not choose right now, currently in this time that we are on the earth. And it can get difficult. However, he has nothing to fear anymore. Like I said, I said this before, nothing can interfere with him. But he can, if he chooses to, talk to his higher self, to talk to those spirits and ask them to leave, as long as he is doing it through his higher self. Nothing can affect him. He has us. He has everything that he needs when he goes within and he feels into his heart and he projects his energy up through his heart. The answers are all there in that stream of light. He also can see why these spirits are visiting him by visiting his soul's temple. He can choose to look through certain doors to see where they have come from, because we can take him up to that soul's reincarnation and we can show him that they are here because of this reason. And if he chooses to go any deeper with that and assisting a cleanse of a certain space, he has that option. However, right now that is not the focus. This is future Joey. This is Joey that is a healer, and he needs to also trust that he can heal in the future because he will be doing that.
Wonderful. Is he supposed to help those lost souls?
He is more of a space clearer. He clears spaces. He clears out places that have been haunted by some lost souls. But again, this is future Joey. He isn't in training for this just yet, because he needs some mentors. This is later on down the line in his life, sort of his third experience. He has 2 more experiences with certain knowledge that he will learn, and he will make lots of money from these 2, and then there will become something different of what he wants to do. He will have the abundance that he needs, and he will give a lot of that away in order to live a more peaceful life, helping others and helping lost souls. However, he will never directly interact with these souls because of what I have already told him to do. He must go through us first, and we will assist him in what he must do.
Thank you for all the information. You say us. Who am I talking to right now?
We are the souls that chose to help Joey with this journey. There are 4 of us.
Is that okay to tell Joey your names so he can address you in the future?
He doesn't need to know our names just now.
Are you coming from the light?
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Is there any other advice or message for Joey that can benefit his life now?
For right now, he needs to do more spiritual practices because he has sort of detached a little bit from us. We would be here to help him. Always, we are always here. But at the moment, he is learning different things. He's learning to adapt to this lifestyle of doing things in the moment, not being afraid of challenges and not being afraid to explore the world. However, he must not forget that we're here guiding him too. And whenever he is challenged by something, that he must ask, and we will simply show him the way. He is very powerful with manifestation and getting to where he needs to be because he does it through his heart. He needs to remember as long as he tunes into his heart, his manifestations are not selfish. They are actually what he's supposed to attract.
What spiritual practices he can implement in order to connect to you easier?
He needs to connect with the water. That was one of his favorite elements back in Ireland. He is going to go and connect with the seaside very soon. And when he does that, he must set an intention to wash away all of his worries and to bury something very special to him in the sand. This is very powerful energy. When he does his spiritual routine indoors, it sometimes feels like it's not right. And he looks at a TV screen and he follows along with yoga or some sort of breath work. It's not as powerful as when he is out in nature and he is intuitively doing these things without any assistance from someone on a TV screen. He knows what to do intuitively when he is in nature. So I think he has the wrong idea of what a spiritual routine should be. It's not being cooked up in a room. It's actually, for now, getting out into nature more.
Thank you. Do you have any advice or message for anybody else?
Yes, we would like you to also work on your own heart, and you have the power in your hands to charge up that heart. And then when you do that, you will feel your own higher self charging you up through the palms of your hands. It will help you and motivate you in many different ways. You have a heart that's very fresh. It's almost very bright and warming to those around you. You will have noticed many changes recently, and you must keep that heart charged because it is moving at a very fast, energetic speed, because it is tuning in to the frequency of higher realms, places that we come from.
How do we care for our hearts?
The way that we care for our hearts is knowing that our hearts is the most potent energy for our soul. It basically is the portal to the soul. It is within and without. The soul within us is closest to our heart, and the soul that surrounds us is connected in the exact same way. It's just a different energy. It extends out as a different barrier. It's a barrier of protection, but the heart space is something that is very powerful that people misunderstand. We sometimes forget to check on a daily basis, but simply by putting your hands over your heart and talking to it like it is your soul. Sometimes people like to connect above their head, but what is above is within, and what is within your heart holds all the answers. So feel into that.
Thank you. I'm very grateful for the information.
You're welcome.
Is there any other message for anybody else?
Not right now.
Is there any message for collective humanity?
Yes. People are afraid. People are losing their head. People are scared. People are worried. The shift is happening, and the shift is beautiful, and it's supposed to enlighten a lot of souls. There are some souls that will still trigger those around us, but we not must fear them, because they are of the light as well. They are triggering us because they know that if they do not disrupt us right now, that the way that we are supposed to go could crumble into something that we don't want. However, this is not what will happen. Things are going to get very, very exciting in years to come. We are going to have a lot of peace. And abundance is going to look very different, because all will be abundant around you. Because we choose our reality, and we are on the right timeline. The world is shifting upwards into higher vibrations, and though it might not look like that right now, everything is exactly as it should be. Detach from the physical worries of certain doctrination, because this is not what will worry you moving forward. It will be a distant memory that you will look back on, and you will laugh at the times that you are in today, because these are the most special times for all of humanity. and it is very exciting to watch. I am very proud to say that we are extremely happy with how everything is going.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Is there anything else we should address today, or are we complete?
I would like to say that we are very much finished here, and I am very happy with your work.
Thank you so much.
Whoa.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh. Wow, I was like gone. Wow, that was a really amazing experience. Whoa.
How did you feel?
So so strange because the minute you got me into trance, I could feel four spirits like standing around me, and I was like, "What is this?" And then now it makes sense because I didn't know in the beginning. I was like, "What is this?" And that was so bizarre. I literally saw. So the whole time that that was happening, they were holding hands around me. I was in like just a completely white place. Everything was bright and white, and I was just in the center, and I was just like sitting there the whole time. That was it. I was like, "What? Okay." Like I could see them as clear as day. One of them had like he had long, kind of curly blonde hair, and he was like really muscular. They were all wearing like white clothes, almost felt like angelic, which was very strange. So they were all blonde, and they had like freckles on their face. So the two um the two blonde ladies had longer hair straight and very, it's so weird because they looked like me. So I was so confused. I'm like, they looked like me, but they had like freckles, and those freckles were very distinct, um, almost like they were placed symmetrically on their face.
Oh,
And he, so when I walked up to him, I thought he was my, I thought he was my future self, and I was like, "Whoa, I look good." And then I realized that it was a guide, and yeah, he just smiled, and I was like, "Oh, look at his teeth. He must have got." I was thinking for a second, maybe did I get my teeth done? And then telepathically, as you were doing it, he goes, "I'm not your future self, because I look the same in the future as I do right now." And I was thinking, what? So while you were talking, I was having like conversations with him, so I don't even know. While you were asking about something, the conversation was coming up with the girl, and she told me that basically you have been talking to us through looking at certain stars and certain downloads that I was getting. They are coming through them first. So even though I'm connecting with different stars, I'm connecting with all these different things, I'm actually always connecting to them first.
wonderful.
So yeah, so it was very strange. It was like basically the weird experiences that I have. They were saying that the ones that only resonate with me because it's for me is what's happening now. And that's what she was saying. She was basically saying strange experiences are not coming from a dark side, they're coming from the light. So I have nothing to ever fear anymore. There's nothing to worry about. And I was just kind of like, whoa. And then the guide behind me wouldn't show himself though. So that was strange because I was sitting with my back to him, but I could feel his energy of his hands, and I could feel that it was kind of flowing through me. And he also was, it was weird because I could see his hands holding hands with everyone else, and I was in the middle, but it felt like he was extending part of himself as well. So like it was like he had a body, but then he also had a projection kind of out that was an energy that was sort of keeping me centered. But again, the two girls looked more or less identical, so I just take it that the two, and so the one behind me probably just looked exactly like the guy in front of me. So the girls were wearing like white clothes that sort of blended in with their bodies. It was also like they had a small thin layer of clothing that kind of just flowed. Honestly, like I actually think that they were angelic because I used to connect with angels, but I never actually physically seen an angel. Or in my mind's eye, I don't really know what to think they look like, but that was like, whoa, I don't know.
Nice.
Do you know something that's the most powerful is seeing them? And I like the way that they said he doesn't need to know our names because when you asked that question, I was like, they don't have names. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's why I've never that's why I've never cared to really find out what their names were. Because it's like they don't have names.
It's
I
like
don't
and
know.
it's like they have energy signature. Is that
Yeah, it's like in English they said almost like there were certain things that when they tried to translate it, even like I need to go back and watch it as well because there were certain things that were said that I was hearing it differently. And then when I would speak it, it was coming out sometimes like like this. It was like the frequency was off with certain words. It was almost like they have a different language or something that the word sort of was getting kind of
so you
yeah.
communicated with them more telepathically as a understanding of the concept, and when you were trying to convey it into words, it was not that precise anymore.
It was so what I was seeing was loads of like different shapes and symbols kind of coming at me. And
Mm.
it was just kind of coming into me and I was like sort of touching them and like they were like vibrations and stuff. And that's what made my hands really heavy because I kept touching these symbols and they're like lines of light. Do you know what it actually looks like? Which is something I never was really, I don't really get it. I'm not really fully interested in it. But you know the way people like write light language? They like do scribbles and stuff. That's what it was, and I was like, whoa. When I was seeing it and I could touch it, and every time I was like touching and grabbing these things, I was like, whoa.
So in the future, if you are experiencing something like that during your session, like you can say, I'm seeing these symbols, and we can ask what's the meaning of those symbols for you today. Because if something
Mm-hmm.
we see during the session, there's usually a reason for it, there's some message.
Mm-hmm.
But since I don't see, I cannot ask about it. So after
Yeah.
you listen to your session, try to ask, like, what was the
Mm-hmm.
meaning of why did you show me this? What was the meaning of
Mm-hmm.
it for me? Why did I need to see this?
Mm-hmm. It was like the minute you asked, are these beings from the light? I was like, because I'm sitting there and I'm like, are you? And then it was like, yes. I was like, oh, like I knew straight away though. I was like, this is something I've never experienced. But when you asked, are you these beings from the light? And they were like, yes. I was like, it even made it more, I could feel more trust in them even more, even though I trusted them straight away anyway. But it was like something charged up in me and I was like, whew, like
You
a
let go of
massive
the fear.
yes, whoa, that was exactly what happened. Like I was like, whoa. I think because of the type of session it was, I'm energized very much. Like I feel like I've just been charged up. And I think that makes sense with what I was seeing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, I do. What would you tell to someone who would consider a session, but they are just not really sure what they should address?
I think that the interview just brings it all up, I think. I think that you don't know until you have a conversation, because conversation is what brings it all up for me anyway. Because like I had a tiny intention, but we ended up going through a lot, and I didn't realize that until you started talking to me. I was like, okay, that I actually thought I didn't really have anything to work on, but those small things actually were a big thing, looking back at it. So coming with no intention is sometimes the good thing, because you don't expect it as much. Like I really didn't expect that at all.
Affirmations that we used at the end of the sessions, those are things I was writing while you were talking about all the messages from the guides. So if you feel like this is something that might work for you, feel free to add them to your affirmations that you are reading already.
Yeah, perfect. I'm going to listen back, because the ones that you said, I was like, oh my God, I love that. So yeah, thank you so much.
Would you allow me to share some parts of this session? The messages were beautiful.
Yeah. Honestly, you can share whatever you want. I'm on YouTube anyway. I've shared some of my own hypnosis sessions, so I you can use whatever it is that you like. Honestly, I am so grateful that you chose to even do this with me. So yeah, you can use whatever. You can use the whole thing if you want. I don't mind.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh my God, thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Oh,
Oh my
you're
God.
welcome. Thank you. It was a pleasure.